Athens is known for its vibrant music scene and the UGA football, but for nearly 900 people, their reality is just finding a place to sleep. In 2024, the county identified 386 homeless individuals at a 12.5% increase from the previous year. Homelessness in Athens-Clarke County is a complex crisis and is driven by structural housing shortages and economic inequality. This results in severe individual health outcomes and community-wide social strain. I got my data from the Athens Homelessness Coalition and Bigger Vision of Athens, which provides daily support to these populations. The primary causes is the housing supply, student market pressure, and personal barriers. The effects are individual health deterioration and community conflicts. And then a glimpse at current solutions are strategic plans and local shelter resources. Now, structural economic factors is the housing burden, market pressure, low wages versus the cost of living. The majority of Athens residents are housing burdened. They're spending more than 30% of their income on rent. And for low-income renters, the figure jumps to 62% of income. Now, the university bubble incentivizes luxury high-rises for students over affordable single-family homes. Now you have low wages versus the cost of living. The minimum wage remains at $7.25, while the average annual cost of living is over twice the federal poverty rate wage for families in the area. A big problem that leads to homelessness is mental health and substance use. Roughly 39% of homeless adults surveyed in Athens suffer from serious mental illness, and 23% have substance use disorders. Now, many families are doubled up or they're staying in their own cars, and they're most of the time just omitted from the official counts. Now, lack of support networks is also a big vulnerability or individual barrier. A shortage of accessible treatment centers and society safety nets makes recovery from financial shock very difficult. Now, here are some of the effects of homelessness. Health deterioration. Living in an unsanctioned encampment without utilities or waste disposal is inhumane and leads to chronic health issues. Then you have clinical trauma. Homelessness creates a cycle of trauma that feeds into mental health and substance abuse issues, making it harder to maintain employment. Here are some of the impacts on the community. The growth of camps on public and private land has increased friction between unhoused individual and local business owners. And the public safety strain is another problem. And there's been a 64% increase in police reports involving people experiencing homelessness since the time of the 2019 pandemic. Though 95% of these calls are for non-violent offenses like trespassing. Now you have the economic strain on service providers. Local shelters like Bigger Vision and the Athens Area Homeless Shelter are consistently at capacity, and now a lot of the time they just have to turn people away because of a lack of space. So to reiterate what I've said, the crisis is a product of both systemic housing failures and individual struggles with deep consequences for the entire county. In my own experience, I live further out towards the country, and there's so much homelessness in Athens that now some of them are being pushed out as far as the suburbs and rural areas. 75% of unhoused people, that and live in Athens before losing their homes. And they are our neighbors and not just transients. So we need to encourage support for the Athens Homelessness Coalition and their strategic plans for permanent housing solutions. The solution to this conflict is deceptively simple. We need to get people off the streets into housing.